Hello there guys, welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea versus Arsenal game, which was our first broadcasted game of this year's pre-season. And I'm getting straight into it. So starting off with our lineup, it was pretty much the strongest team that we could field at this moment in time. So it was Thibaut Courtois in goal, Azpilicueta, David Luiz and Gary Cahill as the three centre-backs. Right wing-back was Victor Moses, left wing-back was Marcos Alonso, two central midfielders, N'Golo Kante and Cesc Fabregas, and the front three being Pedro, Michy, Batshuayi and Willian. It started off great. We had like two corners in the first minute. We almost scored after like 20 seconds, so that started off well. In the 7th minute, Willian had a good chance. He was pretty much one-on-one with the keeper and just about put it wide. Shouldn't do that in a competitive game. He should score that. But, it's a second game of pre-season, I'll forgive him for it. Also, he scored later, so... it was generally, like, we started off really well, really good first 10-15 minutes, but pretty much everyone, but in particular Cesc Fabregas. Like, he was really eager to impress, clearly. Like, he won the ball back on several occasions, like, good defensive tackles. His ball distribution, as always, was outstanding, immaculate. And, we played out from the back really well. Whenever we got into tight situations at the back where they tried to press us, we passed it out. We didn't just kick it long. I really enjoyed it. And then, Michy Batshuayi started having a few chances here and there. And for me, he was being a bit selfish at times. At one point, he could have just laid it out to Willian. It probably would have been through on goal, if he weighted the pass correctly. And he had a shot instead, and not a good one as well. So, not the greatest for that. But, in the 35th minute, actually, Michy Batshuayi scored. Was wrongly ruled offside, which was a bit annoying at the time. But, it happens as long as it doesn't happen in a Premier League game, which it probably will at some point because the refs there are much better than the ones that, were officiating the game today. But still, it was actually good play, a good cross in, and, Michy Batshuayi tapped it in, but, it didn't count. Then in the 40th minute, a goal actually did count. William made it 1-0 after a nice through ball by Michy Batshuayi, a top quality finish by Willian, into the far right-hand bottom corner, hit the post and went in. So really good finish. And only 2 minutes later, they were just finished showing the replays of the first goal. Michy Batshuayi made it 2-0 already. Assisted by N'Golo Kante, another really good finish, again in the bottom corner, this time the left bottom corner with his left foot, I think it was. So really happy with it, two quality finishes, and obviously going into half-time with 2-0 was great. And, there were no Chelsea changes but Willy Caballero coming on for Thibaut Courtois at half-time, which I found very surprising, but I'll come to that later. And in the 49th minute, Michy Batshuayi already made it 3-0, which was great. Alonso assisted the goal after incredible... Actually, Michy Batshuayi won the ball back in midfield, gave it to Cesc Fabregas, who then played a beautiful pass to switch the play from the right-hand middle to the front left, really, to Alonso. He controlled it beautifully, left Oxlade-Chamberlain completely for dead. I think he's still looking for him. He's still sliding past Alonso. Incredible, and like, why do we want Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? Not quite sure. His defensive qualities clearly aren't playing a factor in that because he really didn't look good there. He really didn't. Michy Batshuayi made a run for midfield after, like I said, he won the ball back in midfield earlier. Alonso saw him, played a perfect ball to him, and Michy Batshuayi took it first time outside the box with his weaker left foot and almost put it into the top corner. Great finish, absolute beauty of a goal. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Then it got a bit quiet, Arsenal made a few changes at half-time. They didn't have a great game, let's be honest. We sort of looked a bit more tired, the players that started the game. Then the 69th minute, we started making a few substitutions. Remy, Lewis Baker, Tomori and Kennedy came on for Alonso, Willian, Moses and Michy Batshuayi. And again, like against Fulham, Lewis Baker played a right wing. Like, why is he playing there? He's a central midfielder. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I've watched Lewis Baker loads of times, but I know he's either a centre attacking mid or a central midfielder. Why is he playing there? It's a bit like with Ruben Loftus-Cheek last year when Conte kept playing him as their left wing. Like, I find it a bit strange. And Tomori came on as the right wing back, which I found strange as well because he's actually a centre back. But when he played, he did really well. We hit them on the counter once. He took down a great ball by Fabregas beautifully with a great first touch, perfectly into his stride, and ran on and even had a shot which forced a good save by, I think, Ospina. So, I can't argue it. If he does a good job there, I'm not watching him in training every day, but it surprised me at the beginning anyway. He played there against Fulham as well. And in the 77th minute, we did the rest of our substitutions. Pasalic, Callas, Christensen, Scott, and Clark-Salter came on for the back three. So Azpilicueta, David Luiz, and Gary Cahill. And N'Golo Kante and Cesc Fabregas. Which, then made Remy the captain, which I found quite amusing. To see Loic Remy captain Chelsea. That's a bit weird. But yeah, nothing much happened after that. We had one or two half chances. Arsenal actually hit the post after, although whistle should have blown, should have gone before then, because an Arsenal player clearly dived in the box. But oh well. Overall, we were by far the better team. We were really good, especially obviously in the first half when, the starting players were still fresh. It was really good football. I enjoyed it. I really did. Arsenal only had a handful of chances. Like I said, their best chance was probably when they hit the post towards the end. They had one or two times where they, put it closely wide. Just about wide or just about over. And I think Thibaut Courtois only had to make one save in the whole of the first half. So they didn't really test us today. Don't know about Alexandre Lacazette, but he didn't do anything. Ozil, people thought he got subbed on in the second half because he was so invisible in the first half. But, oh well. Talking about standout players of Chelsea, because I think actually almost everyone was good. But the standouts for me were definitely Cesc Fabregas. His passing, as we know it is, was immaculate, absolutely inch perfect. So many incredible over-the-top passes, perfectly weighted through balls, just incredible. And he always, he always finds the right moment to pass. If he needs to pass it quickly, he does. If he needs to wait for one or two steps for the other players to make a run, he does that as well. And he just completes his passes, absolutely outstanding. And like I said earlier, especially in the beginning, he was doing really well defensively as well. I didn't really notice it all so much after that, but he did really well, clearly very eager to impress, and I do hope that Antonio Conte finds a solution, whether that's by switching the formation or, different kind of solutions to actually have Cesc Fabregas start in that team, because in my opinion, we need the guy. He's absolutely incredible. Another standout player was Michy Batshuayi, although I said during the first half, he was a bit selfish once or twice, but, it's pre-season. He's allowed to be selfish. He knows Alvaro Morata just signed for Chelsea Football Club. He knows he has to impress. So it's fair enough. He shouldn't do it in the Premier League, which he has done before last season as well. Be selfish sometimes instead of, passing the ball to a better position player. But, if it does it in pre-season and then goes and ends up scoring 2 goals, I definitely can't argue it. And he also assisted Willian's goal as well. So in the first 2 pre-season games against Fulham and Arsenal, he scored 4 goals and got 3 assists. You really can't argue that. He's really trying his hardest to, give Conte something to think about and not just throw Morata in straight away, which I think Conte will still do. But, it's really good that Michy is trying, and, he's doing well as well. And Willian, although he missed that chance in the 7th minute, he was really good as well. His runs, his dribbles, the way he passed it, the way he controlled the ball was very good. He looked very, very sharp to me. Some people that I talked to weren't particularly happy with him, especially before he scored this goal in the 40th minute. But I thought he was really good. But yeah, no, pretty much everyone was really good. The only one who I wasn't particularly impressed by was Kennedy. We tried to hit them on a counter. He was pretty much through on goal. Then he took a very heavy touch. It looked like Lukaku. It looked like we signed Lukaku anyway. No one knew. But then it turned out it was Kennedy. But yeah. So he messed that up. And Kolasinac, the new Arsenal left back, got in. And, Kennedy didn't manage to get a shot off. And when Arsenal hit the post late on, he was very easily done by just outside or just inside the box, I'm not sure. So he needs to work on that, maybe alone, if we can get obviously a left wing back in. Although it looks like Mendy is now off to City, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see if we do get someone in. But I'd like to get someone in because I don't think Kennedy is, fit to play there in case Alonso gets a long-term injury and stuff like that. But yeah, generally it's great. Obviously, it's only a pre-season game, so we can't just go jumping up and down, Yeah, we beat Arsenal 3-0. We need to beat them 3-0 in the league, and we need to beat them 3-0 in the Community Shield. We don't need to beat them 3-0, we just need to beat them. That's all that matters, really. But, let's hope we can duplicate and replicate a performance like that against Arsenal in the Community Shield as well. That would be good. But yeah, it's obviously better to score and to, to win 3-0 than to lose 3-0, obviously. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, after we won the league under Jose Mourinho, going into that season, we really didn't have a good preseason. We lost, I think, 3 or 4-0 to Werder Bremen, which I was like, that's weird. People said, it's just preseason and stuff. But I'd much rather, have it like now, win our games, do well. In 2 games now against Fulham and Arsenal, though it was Fulham, not a team on our level, but still, we scored 13 goals and only conceded 2. So, that's good. You can't argue that. That's really good. So, generally, I'm really happy. Obviously, we're playing Bayern Munich on Tuesday. Actually, something I forgot to mention. In the 29th minute, I think it was, Pedro was completely clattered by Ospina. Like, completely clattered. Absolutely needless and useless by Ospina to just jump into the ball like that. Like, minor concussion for Pedro. Maybe he had to come off. And Jeremy Boga came on, who actually did really well. Still work to do for him, but, you know, he looked good. But yeah, so I wasn't happy with that. You know, some players just need to understand it's a friendly. Calm down. You don't need to injure players. So I hope Pedro is fit for the game on Tuesday. And if you're wondering, just quickly, why Charlie Musonda didn't feature today, he is carrying a minor groin injury. Not sure how long they will keep him out for, but that is the reason why he didn't feature at all today. But yeah, that's it from me. Leave me all of your comments down in the comment section below. If you watched the game, you know, who impressed you? Like I said, the three that impressed me were Willian, Michy, Batshuayi, and Cesc Fabregas. So yeah, you know, leave me the play. You know, let me know who impressed you, and you know, what you thought on the game. Leave a like if you're happy that we won against Arsenal. You know, it's always good to beat Arsenal. But yeah, leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Massively do appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.